What's good, everybody? My name is Isaiah Hitchens, aka Bishop Bino, and this is Lesson-dary Memoirs. All right, so first of all, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It's a new year, man. It's 2023, and I'm excited to be able to come back and start making content again. It's been a while, and this is something that God gave me, Lesson-dary Memoirs, basically to just track back through my life, think about the things that happened and tell a story behind it, the lessons that I learned from it. So as I go through this path and I go through this journey, I hope you take it with me, and I hope that we can learn together. So Lesson-dary Memoirs, what is a Lesson-dary Memoir? It's nothing but really a fancy way of me saying testimony service for those of you that's been in the church before, those of you that's outside of the church. I'm just telling my story. That's just something I came up with, something to be a little creative and to do what I needed to do. But it's a Lesson-dary Memoirs. Today, our lesson is coming from something that I heard a lot as a child. It came from John chapter 8, actually, and it says, "The truth shall make you free." My grandmother used to love to say this, "The truth shall make you free." And that's where our lesson comes from. Honesty eliminates denial. Honesty eliminates denial. Man, something to talk about. This lesson, though, is something that I hold dearly to my heart because I did have an issue with being honest when I was growing up. I had a lot of issues and I had a lot of problems, but I didn't want to be honest about them because it would actually show that I had a problem. And as I was going about growing up and journeying through my path, it just seemed like being able to tell that would make people look at me in a different way. And I feel like most of this came from society and growing up with social media and stuff like that. They give you this idea of what a flawless or a perfect life is, but it's actually not real. It's not real at all. And this is what hindered me. It put an impediment on my path and wouldn't let me go forward. And as I look back at it, it's something that I really, really wish that I could have did better. I really wish that I could have continued to be honest about the things that was going on, the things with my family, being able to talk to somebody about those things and getting some help, because it was a lot of things that I began to suppress because I just could not be honest. And I was in a state of denial because I didn't want people to know where I was. I could remember I had a really bad issue with waking up for band camp in college. It's a crazy story. I had a really bad issue with waking up for band camp in college because they would have us out all night, and then they we need you to back here at 3 a.m. for PT. And it was kind of tough for me because from day one when I signed up and I got in there and got my dorm, they were like, go ahead and move into your dorm, but we got full band rehearsal at 6 p.m. I'm like, full band rehearsal at 6 p.m. I just finished moving in. Like, what we got going on? But they were, they were strict about it. They like, you got to be here at 6. If you want to march, this is what you got to do. So I literally moved in my white T-shirt. For those of you that know about the white tees, I moved in my white tee, and then I went and got me something to eat. Probably laid down for like 10 minutes, and then was at the band hall for 6 at Hobart Taylor. Shout out to Hobart kids. I was there at 6, you know what I'm saying? And then I can remember I looked at a glass door because Hobart has like this huge glass lining that you can see outside. So I looked at the door. I'm like, man, the sun is gone. Like, the sun disappeared. And I'm asking people what time it is, and stuff like that. They're like, hey, just chill out first. We finna get out, So I'm like, all right, cool. So we get in the band room, and Doc, Dr. Zach, shout out to Dr. Zach. Doc get on the podium. He like, hey, yeah, it was a great first day. Doc, he was very mannerable. Great first day. But I want to see everybody here. Call time at 3 a.m. I'm looking. I'm like, did he just say 3 a.m., bro? Are you serious? 3 a.m.? He's like, call time 3 a.m. See you then. And he just walked away. I'm I'm like, bro, I don't know how I'm gonna make it, because it's already 11 to 12 o'clock at night. Like, if I go home back to my dorm and go lay down, I'm gonna feel like I haven't slept, because I just moved in, I just did all this stuff, and now he's saying call time at 3 a.m. But there was even a lesson in that, you know. They were trying to teach us, like, if you have a full day planned out, you have to be honest with yourself, and sometimes sleeping in is not the best thing for you. Sometimes you have to discipline yourself to wake up and do things so that you can put yourself on the path for success. And, you know, I feel like that's a thing for a lot of us. For most of us, if we really want to be successful, some of us, we got to wake up at a decent hour, because waking up at a decent hour eliminates that thought of, I'll just do it later. Waking up at a decent hour eliminates the factor of you pushing time off or pushing your snooze button and ending up losing in the end. Shout out to everybody that called me no snooze or lose right there. But yeah, straight up, you gotta be disciplined within your mind and disciplined in everything that you have going on, so that you can actually see the success. And part of being disciplined is even being honest, because you have to be disciplined enough to say, no matter what it is that I'm up against, no matter what I'm facing, I have to be honest, and I have to talk to somebody. I have to get some help if I need it. I have to do the things that will help me get right back where I need to be. The worst thing that you can do is be in denial. The worst thing that you could do is be in denial. Being in denial is just like wearing a mask and just saying that I'm perfect or I don't have anything going on. But you need to be vulnerable at certain points. Now, granted, there are certain times where you can't be vulnerable. There are certain times where you can't just pour yourself out, because you can't trust a lot of things that may be around you. But if you find that person that you can trust, if you find that person that you can be vulnerable with, you have to be comfortable with doing that. You know, a good practice with this is talking to someone. If you feel like this is a person that you can be vulnerable with, talk to them. Say, hey, I feel like you're a good friend. Maybe I could possibly be vulnerable with you. Tell you about some things that I'm dealing with, some things that I'm up against, and just see how they react to it. That'll be the acid test right there. See how they react to it, and let them tell you how they feel about being accountable for you. Because at the end of the day, we all need accountability partners. We all need people in our lives that can keep us together so that we don't fall apart. There are a lot of times where I have people that I have to lean on to pick up the pieces, not just by coming to them and even just saying that I'm falling apart, but just allowing them, their spirit, to overwhelm me, and their happiness to be my happiness. We all need that in our lives. And I pray that those of you that are listening to this, that you are able to find that, and you're able to find that happiness and that joy of having someone that you can lean on and depend on. This is Bishop Bino. I'm signing off for the night, man. It's actually a late night in the create space. I don't want to be up all night. But please never forget to like, subscribe, and hopefully you all keep listening to what we have coming to the channel. Appreciate you.